Feedback I've had so far from some people that watch my channel is that they want to see big snakes. So let's have a little run through of the big snakes that I've got here. Some of them are young, so not very big yet. Some of them are older and massive. Probably won't get Izzy out today. Colt maybe, maybe not, depending on how he feels. Let's start. Okay, so first up we've got Ginger. So Ginger is not a big snake at the moment, but she will be one day. So she is a reticulated python. She's one of the babies that I bred last year. And she's the one that I've kept because she had heart belly. So she had an operation when she was not very old. And there's just a little scar here that you might be able to probably not see. Where she had a little operation just to take out a lump that she got there from her yolk sac. She's doing fantastically well. I've not overfed them, but as you can see, she's a pretty decent size already. So she's a year and a bit now. So yeah, first up, Ginger. She'll be staying with me. We've got Tallulah. Tallulah is probably about 2 or 3 now. So actually, she's not masses older than Ginger that we just saw. She came to me very small. If I can get her, just trying to show you a bit of her length. So Tallulah's done fantastically well. She is a titanium reticulated python, and you might be able to see down the sides why. This really nice grey that they have down their sides. And she's just a really nice snake. Really friendly, really a little bit edgy when she first comes out. Because she they think food first and then handling later. But once she's out, as you can see, she's lovely. Always go in with a hook, just so that she knows that I'm not going to feed her. Although sometimes it takes a few times for her to get the message. But she is just beautiful. Love her. So yeah, this is Tallulah. This is Rosie. She is a common Boa Constrictor. She is a lot thicker than Tallulah, but probably a little bit shorter. So they are quite a heavy-bodied snake. You try to keep them on the lean side if possible, because they are prone to eating a lot and becoming overweight. Rosie is got decent kind of tone down the side. She's not too big. She's very inquisitive, as you can see, and she's having a good look around. So yeah, so this is Rosie. She's absolutely beautiful, and I do love their black tongues, which hopefully you can see. And what I also love about them is the pattern that goes through the eye. I don't know if I don't want to manhandle her, but you may be able to see that. And they always have a moustache as well. Under their nose, they've got a moustache, which I just think is fantastic. Yeah, so this is Rosie. She is Boa Constrictor, normal imperator, and probably, I think, 5 or 6 years old. So this is probably her full grown. Okay, so we're going to look at a Boa Constrictor. So this is Belle. If she'll stay still enough for you to look at her beautiful face. The colours on this snake are just incredible, but they never pick up on camera, unfortunately. Her head is a really nice pinky red, and she's just really pretty. So this is Belle. She's probably a couple of years old. I bought her from a show here in the UK, and she's just a bit lovely. So the boas I generally feed a little bit slower, just because they're so prone to getting fat, really. But as you can see, she's solid, she's a decent tone, and she's doing really well. So this is Belle. Okay, sticking with Boa Constrictors for a little bit longer, this is Silva. And this is just a really good example of how the different morphs vary. So he is axanthic and he is motley, and you can see he's not quite a silver now, but when I first got him he was actually Silva, which is hence the name. I don't handle this boy as much as maybe I should, because when he came to me, he was an absolute nutter. But hopefully you can see that stunning tail that he's got, and he will nip sometimes, so I'm just handling him quite gingerly, as you might notice. Yeah, so when he came to us, he was, he hadn't been handled at all, and he was kind of, they said he was 2 years old, which he may well have been, but he was very small. He's doing really well. He would eat every day if I let him. Silva, I have intentionally not fed him massive amounts because, as I've said now twice already, they are prone to getting fat, and also because he was so small when I got him, I have fed him up very slowly, because the worst thing you can do for a snake that has kind of been maintenance fed is to just start slamming food into them. It doesn't do their systems any good whatsoever, and he's grown up nice and slowly. And yeah, I'm really happy with his condition and how well he's done. So yeah, this is Silva being surprisingly well behaved today, and showing off his gorgeous markings, and I just love that stripe down his tail. He's very, very pretty. Okay, I've gone a little bit off topic. I don't think we consider rainbow boas as big snakes per se, although they get regularly up to 6 feet. But come on, who wouldn't want to look at rainbow boas? So this one in front of the camera right now is Rosie, and she is a gorgeous girl. You'll see though she's quite a bit darker than Badger. This is obviously the male. These guys are both 100% het for caramel, which is a T positive albino. So it's an albino with a bit of colour, and they are basically caramel coloured. They're just beautiful to look at. I do hear people saying that Brazilian Rainbow Boas can be really snappy and bitey. I've never seen that with these two. I think I've genuinely been really lucky from what I hear people saying. But these two have just been absolutely good as gold. I've never actually seen their teeth other than when I've fed them. So yeah, they're gorgeous, lovely pets, and just stunning to look at. So Brazilian Rainbow Boas, Rosie over here, and Badger over here. Okay, so I obviously can't do a big snake video without getting Beatrice out. So let's see what she's on with today. Interested as always. Takes a little while for her to realise that I'm not going to feed her. Not feeding, not feeding, not feeding. Stick that one up there. Let's hope she doesn't bring all of her substrate with her. I'll bring this as well. So this is the wonderful Beatrice. Anyone that's seen the channel before probably will know her already. She is a Burmese Python, and they are generally a little bit heavier bodied. Well, are they, I suppose length for length, they're heavier bodied than the Reticulated Python, although some Reticulated Pythons are pretty thick in the middle. She is maybe a little bit on the podgy side. She just got a little bit of give on the sides, but she looks pretty good overall. She's certainly not overfed really, although she would eat every day if given the opportunity. She's just a lovely snake. I think probably when I finish recording this video I'll take her out into the garden, so let her have a little stretch, because she'll like that. I don't know where her head's gone, it's around there somewhere. She may grow a bit more, 13, 14 feet, probably about average. They can get a lot bigger than that, depending on how much they're fed, etc., and bloodlines. But yeah, so this is Beatrice. She's a big girl, and she's probably the most reliable handling snake that I've got in terms of the big snakes, just because Burmese pythons don't tend to be just quite as reactive as the reticulated pythons. But still active and interested. As you can see, she's really interested in what's going on. I would say for a Burm, she's very aware of her surroundings as well. But just not that kind of food first kind of response that you get from a reticulated python. I find that she snaps out of it quite quickly. She's just trying to trip me up. Yeah, so this big girl is Beatrice. Okay, so I'm really sorry, that is it for the big snakes. Tiggy is in shed, as I said, and absolutely not in a sociable mood, so he's going to stay exactly where he is. Blossom is also in shed. She is an albino Burmese python, so I'm not going to harass her. And we have got Colt and Izzy, who are the big reticulated pythons. I'm absolutely not going to get them out when I'm here on my own. That would just be silly. But I just wanted to share a bit of a nice story with you guys. So this is Lissa. She came to me as a non-feeder, really. She was really quite thin. She still is very lean. But she's going through a stage at the moment where she's eating literally every time I offer. So absolutely delighted with her. She had been kept in tubs, which is absolutely fine for all pythons, actually. That's kind of how generally it's a good way to keep them, to keep on top of humidity, etc. But I moved her into a 4-foot vivarium and she's thrived ever since. So she's always active, she's out and about, she's now feeding really well, and she's still lean. I don't think she's ever going to be like a breedable weight, although other people might breed her at this size. I won't. Yeah, she's a lesser, so she hasn't got, they're not amazing genetics, but I just love the greens that they have on their sides. I just think they're really pretty snakes. And yeah, what I find fascinating is they're part of the blue-eyed leucistic complex. So if I bred her to another one the same, you'd get all completely white, blue-eyed snakes, which I just find it fascinating how their genetics interact. So yeah, this is Lissa. She's doing fantastically well, and this is the most weight she's had on her since I've had her, and she's been here for quite some time now. So yeah, I'm kind of making hay when the sun's shining as far as feeding her at the moment. So she's doing really well. Looking forward to her getting up to a much more healthy size, and she's thriving now that she's in a viv. So if that's how she wants to live, then that's how she'll live. So yeah, so this is Lissa. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to leave it there. Tallulah's just wrestling with the wood in her enclosure by the sounds of it. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for watching. Hit the like if you like the video, subscribe if you like this kind of content, share it on other social media platforms if you know other people that might be interested in this kind of thing as well, and I'll see you again.